Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. We are again with MRC and the GTTCC, Elite 1 tier. This is round 2, race 1, and we are coming today from the Autodrome National of Monza. One of the fastest tracks on the planet at the moment. You'll all be familiar from F1, and you know there's a few good heavy braking areas. Turn 1 can sometimes be a complete disaster, but hopefully the guys will take it nice and steady and we'll get on our way for this half-hour race today. So without further ado, we'll head on down to the grid to see how the guys got on during qualifying before we head for lights out. So sticking it on pole here at Monza, we have Terence for Team Red Bull. Terence is running softs on the front and super softs on the rear. He had a pretty good time out at the last round. Let's see if he can repeat today and go from pole to win. In P2 for Team Samsung, we've got Mocking Weeks. He's running super softs all round. Mocking Weeks was another guy to have a very good round last time out. Some great battles with the guys, so we're looking for exactly the same here today at Monza. We'll keep an eye on him and see how we get on. And in third, we've got Ghost Realm for Team Monster. He's running the softs on the front and that's super softs on the rear. Starting from third, we're looking to have a real good run at the two guys ahead. See if he can get past the breakaway. We'll keep an eye on how Ghost Realm gets on. And the second Team Samsung entry is Has91 on fourth today. Running super softs all round, so looking to have a good quick impact here. These cars can be heavy on the front tires, that's why you see a lot of guys running softs on the front. As 90 has the confidence he can run super softs. Let's see what he can do starting from fourth. And in fifth for Team Quick Fit, we've got P1 Apache UK. He's running softs on the front, super softs on the rear. Had a very good, decent run in round 1. Starting from fifth today, so a good opportunity to get in amongst it down through the first turn, maybe into the second chicane, so we'll see how he gets on starting from fifth on a 555 car, so it's all lining up there for him. In sixth, we've got Ginge Imposter from Team Budweiser. He's running the softs on the front, super softs on the rear. Again, good decent starting position here, middle of the pack. Hopefully be able to make some moves through the first few corners. We'll see if they can make a good challenge for the front group as we head on down through the first turns. In seventh, we've got Mud36 for Team HKS, running super softs all round, so another driver thinking they can take the super softs quite far in this race, so we'll keep an eye and see on his progress. With the super softs all round, we're looking to maybe jump the guys running the softs on the front, so you'll have better front end grip at the start of the race. The second Quick Fit entry is Diablo down in 8th. Also another guy running super softs all around, maybe running full Quick Fit. They've given him a decent super set of super softs, you never know. Keep an eye and see if Quick Fit have worked their magic for his tyres today. Then in 9th, we've got a P1 Valium Michelin, Team Michelin entry. He's running softs on the front, super softs on the rear. So it doesn't look like he's got the same relationship with his sponsor, Diablo, as he's having to run with a harder compound on the front. In 10th, we've got Angus McCodup. He's running for Team Budweiser. See Bugs just chilling out on the side of the car with a bud. He's running softs on the front, super softs on the rear. We'll see if this wily rabbit can burrow its way up the grid today. And finally, the second Michelin entry, Street Boy. He's running super softs all around, so definitely seems to have a better relationship than Valium with Michelin, as he's got a full set of supers to start off the race, and that rounds out our grid today. So the guys are all lined up, they're ready to go, so we'll head on down to the front and get ready for the lights to go out as we hit the track for race 1 of round 2. So we're down at the front, you see the guys getting ready for the lights to start coming on. Hear those Aston engines rising, 3 lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And they're green and we're away. Decent start from all the front guys. Nobody really bogging down. Don't really need traction control with these cars. They just grip and go. We got Mocking Wings having a look up the inside of Terrence down towards the first chicane. So as everyone's sensible here, you can run 2 cars through, but Mocking Wings just tucks in behind. Very sensible. Goes around the same. Looks like we're going to get all drivers through the first chicane. Fantastic driving here from Elite 1. Nobody having an issue through turn 1, the first chicane. We've got Valium's dropped back a little bit there, down towards the back with his teammate. We've got Terrence down in the lead, heading down towards the second chicane. Mocking Wings just showing himself in the mirror, maybe not going for a move, but just showing Terrence that he's there, trying to take his eye off the corner. These front 3 now of Mocking Wings and Ghost Realm as well, with Terrence breaking away from this secondary pack. It looks like they're starting to battle a little bit here on the opening lap. So Apache just runs wide. Oh, and in the background I think we got Street Boy is it running very wide through the first Lesmo. It's really easy to do. They're not very forgiving corners. Apache now just pulling away. He's leading this pack. These guys can work together. Slipstream is key at Monza. If with these big streets, if these can work together, they can close up on the guys ahead. Ghost Realm being at the back of the pack needs to stay in touch with the front 2, as he can become vulnerable. But they need to not fight. So they can just, I know it sounds a bit boring, but if they can just work together, then they can start battling once they all get. But I mean, look at this train here, guys. We've got 4th. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all together. I say that now as 8 and 9th are just breaking away. Obviously, with these 2, you can see where these 2 are battling. They're dropping off from the pack. They don't want to lose the strips. Excuse me, I'll put my teeth back in. They don't want to lose the slipstream because they'll just see these guys in front just peel away. We're now looking 3 wide. Oh, they just sensibly tucked back in. I thought Mud was going to go up the inside to make a 3 wide in the first chicane. That would have spelled disaster. But a couple of swaps around. Apache's managed to hold position at the end of the start-finish straight. So we've got Mocking Wings now in the lead. He would have overtook Terrence down through the start-finish straight just using the slipstream. Sometimes Monza can actually become a race where you're actually planning where to be on the final lap or on the penultimate lap to try and make use of the slipstreams. They all run a little bit wide there. Mocking Wings goes to the furthest. His left tyres are going to be dirty now. He needs to just be careful through the second Lesmo. You can see where he's been careful there. Terrence is close right up to the back of him now. He's going to have a look. Mocking Wings just closes the door a little bit there. Terrence is looking for a way past left and right, but he's going to stay behind him. See Ghost Realm taking a wee peek out the side of Terrence, but they're all going to sit in. This is a favourite place to pick up a penalty there. I can't remember the name of this bit. Is the Scary. I don't know if it's all called the Scary or not. Not the best with corner names, but you can really pick up penalties through that section, pushing too hard. See at the back there, the guys are all over the show fighting. Has 91 is side by side with Matt nearly. He's just going to drop in behind him now. See, this is sensible. She's coming down towards us. A lot of people go, like you see there. Valium having a look up the inside of Angus into the Parabolica. I think it's called the final turn, we'll call it, because I've just had a brain fart. I'm not sure whether I'm actually right on that one. A lot of people go for a dive up the inside there or around the outside. If the other car is struggling, yeah, go ahead and get around them. But if they're not, just tuck in behind. You don't need to make a move because they're going to have the slipstream on you. See Terrence just getting a little bit sideways out of the first chicane. If you give them a slipstream heading down the start-finish straight, then that could be all over for you trying to defend. So you're better off sometimes sticking behind, make your move after the final corner, heading up the start-finish straight. As we've been looking around, we've now got Apache and Diablo, the 2 quick fit guys running 4th and 5th. They're breaking away, and looks like they're using the slipstream very well. They're breaking away from the battling pack behind, and closing on the front 3. Matt's starting to break away a little bit from Has 90, who's got P1 Valium, Angus McCodum and Ginger Poster close behind. Street Boys made some time up the back after that little excursion into the gravel on lap 1 through the first Lesmo, so he's starting to get back. As we see somebody's run wide there. It's Angus and McCodum just run wide there through the second Lesmo, kept the car in a straight line. So after that action-packed opening couple of laps, we'll take a run through the field and see where everyone lines up. We've got Mocking Weeks in first, actually breaking away now from Terence. He's got Ghost Realm in very close company. Ghost Realm being very patient, like I said, just sitting behind, using the slipstream. He's going to look for a move on the final corner. It's going to leave him a little bit vulnerable now down the start-finish straight, so expect to see those two swap back by the time they get down to the chicane. P1 Apache in fourth with his quick fit teammate in fifth. They're going to do a bit of bump drafting now, working together. It's not illegal, you can get away with it. So Mutt is in sixth, breaking away from Has 91 and P1 Valium. P1 Valium has picked up a 1.5 second penalty. I don't know whether I mentioned this in the first videos. For those of you who are not familiar with the MRC setup with the GTTCC, if you have a penalty, you do not have to burn it off. It does not have to be burnt off. However, you cannot overtake. So P1 Valium is actually stuck behind Has 91 as long as he's carrying that penalty. Now, if he's doing a bit of just travelling behind him, fuel saving, but we don't use fuel in these races, so I mean, if he was doing that, then fair enough, but he might want to look at trying to get rid of that, because he's going to be caught by Ginger Poster in 9th very shortly. Angus McCodum is in 10th, being harassed by Street Boy in 11th. So we're all going pretty well so far, but this guy's breaking away now. Mocking Weeks is going well. He's broke the toe of the two behind and is not looking back. As we're coming up towards the 10-minute mark of race 1. Second race, we're going to head on over to Goodwood. If you remember from the first videos, race 1 is the Aston Martin V12 Vantage, Group 4. And then we have race 2, which is the driver's choice of Group 4. So unfortunately, it's a lot of TTs. Some people have dubbed it the TT Championship, but there's quite a good variety with the drivers who haven't picked them, so it's going to be an interesting race to say the least. And it's reverse grid as well from this race, so at the minute Mocking Weeks is starting last, so we'll see how he gets on at Goodwood if that happens. He's holding the fastest lap at the moment of a 1:55.891, so everything's going swimmingly at the moment for Mocking Weeks, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in race 1. I should have. If I didn't, I apologise, but you will notice on the vehicles the pink cancer ribbon there, and it says for Mrs. J. It's one of our members here in MRC, and also I'm in another community drivers room. That same member is one of our community members. Tragically lost his mother recently, so just to show respect from the guys here in MRC. I know the guys in drivers room have also done a similar thing. Show respect and our thoughts with Ricky at this very sad time for him and his family. Guys are going to be sporting them probably for the rest of the season. So Ghost Realm, while we've been talking, I did see it in the background, got past Terence as he runs very wide through the second Lesmo. He got past Terence out of Ascari, managed to hold him off. He was breaking the toe, but that little excursion onto the gravel has pulled Terence right back in behind him. See if he can really lean in on those tyres there, coming out of Ascari, trying not to get a track limit penalty. He just drops in defensive now from Terence. Terence locks up the rears there a little bit. But Ghost Realm holds on, but he's going to be vulnerable now down the straight. Terence is very close behind him, but Terence is looking to go for the move early here. This could be, he backed back in, he lost the momentum there, he's ducked back into the slipstream, just give him a little bit more overspeed again, but Ghostram's doing well to defend, but he's going to be on the outside heading to the chicane. Can Terrence get it stopped and turned in? He does. A great move from Terrence, started back there. Not much Ghostram could have done about that, really. You got Apache and Diablo still running 4th and 5th. They are catching these boys slowly. They're working together very well there, the two quick fit lads. Mud still heading this group then. You got Mud in 6th, being followed by Haz 91. P1 Valium still carrying that penalty, but hasn't really, by the looks of it, been in a place to pass Haz 90, so it's just carried on burning it here and there. There's not many slow corners where you can burn off the penalties, and this is the problem. He's got the overspeed there, but can't go past. You see him tapping the brakes there, slowing the car down. If he didn't have the penalty, he probably could have slid the car to the inside to try and take the first Esmo before Haz 90, but he had to back off. That's allowed Ginge just to close up on the back of him. Sometimes you just got to take your medicine, sometimes get rid of those penalties, but we'll see if he can hold off. He's only got 3/10 left of that penalty. Street Boy is now past Angus. Angus just at the back. Not too far away, he must have had a little bit of an issue somewhere. He's dropping off. He's about a second slower down that last lap from Street Boy. Well, Marking Weeks is just striding away now. He is 4.2 ahead of Terrence. Which just goes to show what the battling does. If these two work together rather than swapping places, they could close the gap up on Mocking Weeks, as Mocking Weeks has no slipstream whatsoever, but they are in different teams, so you would expect to see them work together. The competitive nature of a driver wants to just get ahead of the car in front. As goes around, slips in front of Terrence into the first chicane. So just a repeat of the move from last lap, just the other way around. Apache's pulled away a little bit from Diablo. Diablo's struggling a little bit. See Apache's on the racing softs at the front, super softs on the front of Diablo, so maybe the super softs just giving up a little bit more grip. He can't quite keep with Apache's pace. You got Valium. This Street Boy is behind Valium. Haz 90 has dropped back. Haz 91, sorry, Ginge Imposter as well. Oh, don't know what happened there. We'll see if we can take a look back, see if anyone had any issues. So rejoin the group now as they're heading down now towards the final corner, and they're very close as they're heading down towards here. Valium still carrying that penalty. He's not going to drop it through the final corner. Mud's really not in a great position up alongside Haz 91. He would need to tuck in behind unless Valium's going to bump draft him. So is this where we have the issue? Because Valium is very close to Mud there. If he could get caught out with the braking. Seems to turn in. There you see Valium's losing the penalty there now. He has gets a little bit wide there and onto the gravel, and he's gonna drop it round. So that's what's happened to Haz. So what happens to Ginge Imposter, because he ends up behind as well. Oh, and he just drops it under braking. He drops it under braking, heading into the chicane, and I think he got reset. Yeah, he got reset. That's what's dropped him back, so that's what's happened. Just two unforced errors from two drivers there, costing him a few places on the lap. We rejoin the live action there as Valium and Street Boy head up towards the Scary. Pardon me. The two Michelin cars. Will they work together or will they fight? We've seen the quick fit boys working together quite well during this race. Will these guys do the same now to catch up to Mutt and beyond? Locking week still. No drama at the front. Just pumping out consistent laps at the moment in the 155, 156s. High 155s, low 156s. Ghost Ram is just holding off Terrence. Just not on the pace of Mocking Weeks at the front. Around Monza. Apache dodging the scatter cones there from it's one of the guys dropping it there earlier on. Sorry, my mind went completely blank there. It was Haas 91, wasn't it? He's dropped back even further. So a couple of guys starting to struggle. We see Apache's picked up half-second penalty there. That's going to be track limits at the chicane. He's going to have took too much of the initial turn in or the exit. So easy to do a Monza to just start lifting crazy penalties. I always get it at this next left-hander. I always take a little bit too much. I don't really see why they haven't set that badly at this corner. But I'd give up trying to understand PD and the penalty logic a long time ago. We won't get into that subject today. Goes from just burning off a penalty there. That's going to let Terrence break away. Also going to put him under a little bit of pressure from Apache, who's coming full chat behind him. But Apache has that penalty which he just burnt off heading into the final corner. He runs very wide. That's going to dirty up all four tyres. So you see that dust where he was offline there. Diablo's getting another one on him, but Diablo's diving into the pits. Also, Ghost Ram's going in. We've got Mutt heading in on the 15-minute mark, so a couple of guys going for the one stop at halfway. The guys with the softs, not the softs, the softs are still running. Mocking Week still running at the front because he's not really losing much time. His tyres are still in a good way. He's probably going to try and go super soft, so he's more than capable of doing that if he's took him this far as he goes purple. So you know he's really not losing pace at the moment on these tyres. What we'll do is we'll jump on board with Mocking Weeks here. See how the current leader tackles this Italian monster of a track. Just hesitate on the turn in there because he knew if he turned in he was going to pick up a penalty. Just so easy to do down through that section of corners through the Scari and on both chicanes since the track limits are very tight here at Monza. Just no drama from Mocking Weeks in his Aston. Car is very nicely under control, no squeals. Look in the mirror, you can see a small dot there, that's Terrence in the background. As we see Apache is now heading to the pits with his softs. Might see some of the soft runners coming in there. Terrence is still carrying on. Valium is still carrying on his softs, but he's going to be passed by Ghost Realm coming down into the first chicane. Ghost Realm on the fresh super soft rubber, just going to be... That's a very good defense there from Valium. Very ballsy, just turns in and stops Ghost Realm from getting past, but has a pretty poor exit. That's allowed Ghost Realm up alongside. He's going to be on the outside heading down the chicane, so it's going to be last of the late breakers here. Just don't think he's really going to have the line to take it. Depends if he gets across the front of Apache first. He does. Great move from Ghost Realm there, heading through the first chicane. Oh, and he picks up half-second penalty. Now, technically, I think that means he has to give that place back. I'm not sure on that because he picked it up during an overtake. But, I mean, that's just what I've been saying about Monza, and it's ridiculous penalties. He didn't seem to cut the corner in my eyes. He just did a lovely overtake. Given the driver enough room, they both made it through a sound, but I don't know, maybe somebody can comment on the video from MRC and let me know about that one. It'd be good to know myself for my own racing. As you can tell, folks, I really do study the rules thoroughly and know them inside out. So, we've got Ghost Realm back up in the third, chasing after Terrence, who still hasn't stopped yet. Mocking Week still hasn't stopped and is carrying on for yet another lap. He's now dropped down to 157.2, so that's the slowest lap that Mocking Weeks has done. Should be looking to come in soon. Also down in 157, says Terrence. They may be pushing a little bit too far now. As Valium has dived into the pits and he was struggling. We've seen him run wide through the Lesmos. Maybe after being unsettled by being passed, but who knows, sometimes can break your concentration slightly. So we'll see what happens here now. Ghost Realm really has to put in some stellar laps now. Really push. You should know that these guys haven't pitted yet. As you can see, just the decline there of lap times from Mocking Weeks. He's gone from early 156s straight into the 157, so he's lost a second there, pretty much in one lap. Two rarely, but 157 dead's nearly a full second, so he's lost a lot of time there. It's really time for Mocking Weeks to go, and he could put himself in undue pressure here, just depending on what the ghost behind can do. Terrence is going to have to pit as well, so he's not really going to be under pressure from Terrence. Although Terrence's tyres are a lot better than Mocking Weeks, but he won't know that. They can't see these figures, obviously, in racing. So, Terrence, by his speed drop off, I would say we just need to pit. Ghost Realm trying to get rid of that penalty and get round. Interesting to see what his lap time is now compared to the two in front, just to see how much time he is going to be making on them. As we see, Mocking Weeks has dived into the pits. Yes, Terrence is going to follow him. So then it's all on Ghost Realm. He needs a great run through here now. You know, he's not going to catch Mocking Weeks, but he's not going to overtake him, sorry, but he can close up the gap to him. As we see, Terrence is also making his way out the pits. They're both out the pits in front of him, so they did enough to stay ahead. But look at the closing speed on Ghost Realm to Terrence there. Down towards the first chicane as Terrence is coming out of the pits. Ghost Realm was at full chat down the start-finish straight. So, Mocking Weeks has actually held out a pretty decent lead still, so he's not really in any trouble at the moment. Terrence could be from Ghost Realm. Just depends if he can switch the tyres on quick enough. Get them up temperature and not go sliding about over the track. So we'll do a quick run through the grid again after most people have stopped to see where everyone has lined up after the pit stops. As we are now just 8 minutes left of this race 1 of round 2. Mocking Weeks is out in front with quite a commanding lead over Terrence in the second, who is coming under pressure from Ghost Realm in third. Apache's had a great race in fourth. He's worked well with his teammate at the start, but has pulled away from Diablo in fifth, who's being put under severe pressure from Mutt from Team HKS, as he's going to look for a move up the inside. Can he make a stick? Will they both make it round? They just give each other enough room. No penalties picked up. Oh, fantastic move there from Mutt. Very respectful racing from the pair, no door banging, left enough room from each other. That was it's not an easy corner to do that on either, so congrats to those two for a lovely bit of racing. So Mutt's now up the 5th, Diablo down to 6th, probably changed on the start-finish straight. As 91 is back up in the 7th, wipers are ablaze because just in case there's a little bit of rain at this beautiful sunny Italian day. Can never be too prepared. We've got Ginger Pasta down in 8th, and we have P1 Valium being followed by his Michelin teammate Street Boy in 9th and 10th, and Angus McCoda down in 11th, trying to get amongst the two Michelin cars. So Terrace he's being closed up by Ghost Realm. Gap between them 1.117. It just dropped that down a little bit more as we looked at them. Can Ghost Realm close the gap up now? We've got just under 6 minutes remaining. So we're going to be looking at about 3 to 4 laps more. I see Terrence. Oh, he runs wide there. Just saves it. Oh, we see Apache in the background doing exactly the same. When he nearly bit the wall the other side, that's normally what you see. Cars get a tyre out onto the gravel and spat across into the wall opposite. I did that in my race in the rookie tier. Oh, now Terrence has picked up a 1 second penalty. At the minute, it's not going to bother him because he is not in a position to pass Mocking Weeks, but if he gets caught by Ghost Realm, that could become a very severe handicap. This is the point where Ghost Realm really needs to capitalise now and push and get past Terrence. He's got a second penalty. Ghost Realm will be able to see that. If he gets rid of it to try and attack back at Ghost Realm, it's going to drop him at least 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds behind Ghost Realm. So he really needs to push now and try and get past Terrence, but he doesn't seem to be closing yet. He will be just in the slipstream, but needs to really, really push hard now. Apache just in a world of his own in 4th, nobody really front or rear, and Terrence will be hoping that the quick fit driver can catch Ghost Realm ahead of him, make Ghost Realm start defending and drop back. And we got Mud ahead of Diablo. These two still having their little battle. Diablo must be carrying, yeah, Diablo's carrying a penalty, so no battle to be had here at the minute. He cannot pass Mud carrying that penalty. And there it is, gone into the first Lesmo, so now he's free to attack just in time as we head up to the very quick sections, heading back towards the start finish straight. Has 91 is another driver in sort of no man's land, along with Ginger Poster behind. Then the two Michelin cars of Street Boy and Valium just having a little race into team battle between each other. And Angus McCoda just enjoying the show ahead of him. As you see Mocking Weeks coming round to complete lap 14. We've got just under 3 minutes to go. So there's going to be 2 more laps at least from Mocking Weeks here, as he just sets another fastest time of 1:55.594. So he's not holding back, he's not cruising. He's going to push to the end. Terrence has managed to get that 1 second penalty down to 1/10 now, which he'll lose then in the braking area of turn 1, will he? No. Doesn't quite brake hard enough to start it, but no, he has lost it. He just didn't ghost out because it was so short. But that's allowed Ghost Realm to close right up on him. He would have hoped to have been this close for Terrence still having penalty, because it would have been advantage Ghost Realm, but you just see Terrence going defensive into the second chicane. Just taps the back end of Ghost Rum as they head in. As Ghost Rum tried to go around the outside a little bit. That was just down to a racing incident there, but that could have got messy between the two drivers. But good aggressive but fair battling between the guys in second and third here. They're going to put on quite a show for the rest of the race. We'll jump on board with Terence as he's looking to get back past Ghost Realm. He's going to be on the outside heading up towards, I think this is classed as Ascari as well, probably not, but as he approaches that corner. Ghost Realm does well to hold on. Great bit of defending against Terence. Nobody ready in the rear view behind us. Terence is looking up to the inside, but it's just maybe a tactic to try and get Ghost Realm out of a rhythm, which he seems to. Just doesn't break quite hard enough, carries a little bit too much speed in. That's going to allow Terence up the inside, but now he's side by side. He's going to be at a... Yeah, they're not really going faster than each other. He maybe should have held a bit longer behind. He's going to have the inside line in the first chicane, but again, Ghost Ram just throws it round the outside. Great bit of driving from these two. What a battle they are putting on as we're down. This is the last lap. This is going to be some fight between these two. We'll quickly have a look and see if there's any other battles. But Diablo are still hammering tongs behind. Has 91s on his own. Ginge has picked up a penalty. And we've got Angus past the two Michelin cars. The two Michelin cars must have been tripping over each other fighting. Angus would have had double slipstream from the two. Can he hold them off? This guy is battling nobody and is going to come home for the win. Oh, Ghost Rum and Terence just running a bit wide through the second. Try first Lesmo. Into the second Lesmo now. They both run a lot tidier as we see Apache running wide in the background. Ghost Rum just needs to hold on now and not put a foot wrong, because Terence will take the opportunity. As we see Mocking Winks going through Ascari up towards the final corner. Ghost Rum's pulled a little bit on Terence, but Terence is going to have slipstream all the way down to the final corner. He just wants to nip in behind him, or maybe he's going to go for it if he gets a chance. Just going to head up towards Mocking Weeks as he comes across the line to take victory in race one. What a race from Mocking Weeks, controlled it from start to finish. As we see him coming side by side in the final corner, will Mocking Weeks hold him off? Mocking Weeks goes from not Mocking Weeks, just holds him off by a nose. Great battling between the two as we see Apache celebrating fourth place with the handbrake into the wall. Diablo has got past Mutt to finish 5th. Mutt 6 has 90 in 7th. Ginger Imposter coming home in 8th. P1 Valium's got ahead of Angus. P1 Valium is going to take 9th, just ahead of Angus. That's another close finish. Street Boy in 10th.